For those who aren't familiar with Pippin, can you just give us a kind of quick synopsis as what the play's about and what drew you to doing a production of it right now?
So the play is about a young man who has essentially graduated from college and doesn't know what to do with his life. And that's the entire plot. He spends the 2 acts of the play being exposed to a whole bunch of different experiences, trying to find where he fits into the world, and then ultimately is given a choice at the end and makes a decision. I don't want to say anything more about the ending will ruin the ending.
Right.
The reason I suggested we do it is that I think that it's really appropriate for our students. The idea of identity, the idea of not knowing who you are or where you belong, and going through this educational process thinking you have a goal, but then is that what you want to do? How do you know what you want to do, and how do you know that? So I thought the material kind of spoke to our students and kind of the college experience in some ways as well. And we've kind of set the production a little bit more CSUN centric in some ways. That Pippin is very much a CSUN student with a CSUN T-shirt on. I mean, he is a CSUN student. So and we're trying to make it a little bit more, a little bit less. We do reference Charlemagne, and the story is set in Charlemagne's time, but we're trying to keep it a little bit more contemporary in the approach to it, I guess. So the music is very 1970s, and it's Bob Fosse, one of Bob Fosse's most famous works that he did. So we're kind of taking that as a jumping off point.
What are some of the nitty gritty things you're doing to make it relevant in terms of setting it in CSUN? Can you give us any examples of that?
I mean, like I said, Pippin is taken out of the audience. Okay, so he is a member of the audience that comes out and is selected to be in this performance.
Fun.
And then there's references to kind of vague references to matadors. There's it's just trying to keep it not trying to replicate the Broadway production,
right? And
really trying to ask the students to bring their own interpretation to this. So it's not the clothing, the costumes are much more contemporary. So we're trying to not make it distant, trying to make it just very, very present, and trying to just keep pointing out that, these are decisions that are in your life as well. So, and then the CSUN, we're also trying to keep it very California centric. So the entire visual of the show looks like kind of a beautiful California sunset. Kind of the starting off point for the show. So,
nice.
Yeah.
And how long had you all been rehearsing before everything got shut down?
We were 2 weeks away from opening. So we've been rehearsing for 6 weeks.
Okay.
So we do 2 weeks with just music and some choreography, and then we did 4 weeks of staging, and then we were just about to go to break. And when we got back from break, we should have gone into tech and then opened last week. So,
right.
So we were pretty far. We were saying we were done. We weren't done, but in a lot of ways things were pretty well set for most of the show.
Yeah. COVID comes and does what it is doing. How have the students and yourself, how have you all taken this, I'm going to assume is a pretty big setback?
I mean, we had to, there was enough emails going around that the night before they made the decision to close the campus, I just broached the subject with them and just said, we don't know what this is going to be, but you have to at least entertain the possibility that this is going to delay us,
right,
or it's not going to happen. Like, just put it in the back of your mind, but just consider it. And then the very next day, we were closed, and we met that night as a cast for kind of our final night, and it was. It was beautiful, and it was one of the hardest nights because everybody was just in tears. They were just really, really heartbroken. That I think they really wanted to share what they had done. They really wanted people to be able to experience it and see all the work that they've been doing. And they're really close. We all got really close to each other. So it was just a lot in that one evening.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. Good news is that we have moved the show to the fall. So it will be the first show to open the fall season for theater on September 18th. So
okay.
And I had the bad end of the stick, and then I had to tell them that, hey, we're back. We're getting the band back together again, and we're gonna do it. So they were very excited by that. So
now, how does that affect though your graduating seniors, and are any of the main parts played by graduating seniors?
So I believe we have 4 graduating seniors in the show, and we're gonna figure out a way that they can kind of, because we are giving everybody credit for being in the show. Academic credit for being in the show because they had done so much work. So we're going to see if we can do a kind of an exemption, kind of a volunteer form for them to come back and participate in the show if they're able. If they're moving or going on to grad school or something, then we understand.
Right.
But we're hopeful that so far everybody has committed to coming back. So
That's good.
I think when we do get back together again, because the connection of the group was pretty deep and pretty real, I think I think we'll be able to get back. And then I think there's something also kind of beautiful about being able to do this show is kind of a statement.
Yeah.
Kind of like being able to say
sense of resilience almost.
Yeah, we're getting back to normal, and this is a little bit of defiant in a way, and I think I mean that for the students in the show, but also for the designers, for myself, for even just for the department in general, just to be able to. We had 2 shows that got canceled, so to at least be able to take one of those shows and be able to do that, I think it says something. Yeah, it makes a bigger statement than just the show.
Right.
It becomes about a little bit more than just Pippin. So
right.
And again, I think that momentum, beginning of the school year, being back together again, I think will, in a way, possibly elevate the show someplace that it wouldn't have gone otherwise. So
yeah, well, that's great.
They're a really great bunch of students. They're really, really remarkable group of students.